Hello, friends. Welcome back to Old Coins News. Today, we're going to take a look at 5 amazing Washington quarter dollar coins, each inscribed with United States of America, E pluribus unum, liberty, in God we trust. Are these just ordinary pocket change or hidden treasures? Watch the video till the end, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share so you and your friend can discover the fascinating stories behind these coins. So, let's get started and explore today's 5 special coins. The 1989 D Washington quarter dollar is an important modern U.S. coin that reflects both the long-running Washington quarter series and stability of late 20th century American coinage. Struck at the United States Mint in Denver, this coin carries a familiar inscription: United States of America, E pluribus unum, liberty, and in God we trust, along with a D mintmark indicating its production at the Denver Mint. Though it may appear to be ordinary pocket change, the 1989 D quarter holds historical, artistic, and numismatic value within the broader story of American coinage. The Washington quarter series itself began in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of the birth of George Washington, the first president of the United States and one of the most respected figures in American history. The obverse portrait used on the 1989 D quarter is based on a bust of Washington created by the French sculptor Jean-Antoine Houdon in 1785. That sculpture became the inspiration for the coin design prepared by John Flanagan, whose initials JF appear subtly on the obverse of the quarter beneath Washington's bust. By 1989, this design had already been in continuous use for over 5 decades, making it one of the most recognizable coin designs in American history. On the obverse of the 1989 D quarter, Washington faces left. The word liberty appears prominently above his head, representing the core principle upon which the United States was founded. The phrase "In God we trust" is inscribed to the left of Washington's portrait, a motto officially adopted as a national motto in 1956. The date 1989 appears at the bottom, and to the right of the ponytail ribbon is a D mint mark, indicating production at the Denver Mint. The design is simple yet dignified, reflecting both classical artistic influence and American ideals. The reverse design of the 1989 D quarter features a heraldic eagle with wings spread wide. The eagle grasps a bundle of arrows in its talons, symbolizing military readiness and strength, while olive branches beneath the arrows represent peace. Above the eagle's head appears the motto E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one, a phrase that reflects the unity of the original 13 colonies and, more broadly, the unity of the American people. Surrounding the design are the inscriptions United States of America and quarter dollar. This reverse design was also created by John Flanagan and remained standard until the introduction of the 50-state quarters program in 1999. In terms of composition, the 1989 D Washington quarter is made of a copper-nickel-clad composition. Since 1965, U.S. quarters have consisted of an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core. This replaced the earlier 90% silver composition used prior to 1965. The change was made due to rising silver prices and coin shortages during the 1960s. The 1989 D quarter therefore contains no silver and weighs approximately 5.67 grams, with a diameter of 24.3 millimeters and a reeded edge designed to prevent counterfeiting and clipping. The mintage of the 1989 D quarter was very high, with hundreds of millions produced for circulation. As a result, most examples found today are common and typically worth only face value in circulated condition. However, uncirculated examples in mint state condition can carry a modest premium, especially those with strong luster and minimal contact marks. Coins graded MS65 or higher by professional grading services may be more desirable to collectors seeking high-quality examples for their collections. While the 1989 D quarter is not rare in general circulation, certain errors and varieties can increase its value significantly. Collectors often search for double die errors, off-center strikes, clip planches, or coins struck on wrong planches. Additionally, coins with strong strikes and full details on Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers are considered more attractive. In rare cases, high-grade examples with exceptional eye appeal may achieve higher prices at auction. The historical context of 1989 adds another layer of interest. The year marked significant global changes, including the end of the Cold War era and the fall of the Berlin Wall. Although these events are not directly reflected on the coin's design, the 1989 D quarter circulated during a transformative time in world history. Coins often serve as silent witnesses to the periods in which they are used, passing through countless hands during moments of economic, political, and social change. From a collector's perspective, the 1989 D quarter fits into several collecting categories. It can be part of a complete Washington quarter date and mint mark set spanning from 1932 to 1998, or included in a modern clad quarter collection. Many collectors enjoy assembling high-grade uncirculated sets from the 1980s and 1990s because these coins are relatively affordable yet offer the challenge of finding pristine examples. Rolls and mint sets from 1989 are still available in the secondary market, allowing collectors to search for superior specimens. The artistic significance of the Washington quarter design should not be underestimated. John Flanagan's portrait of George Washington is both stately and restrained, reflecting neoclassical influences. The reverse eagle design, though traditional, conveys strength and balance. Together, the obverse and reverse create a coin that is both symbolic and functional. Its longevity, used for nearly 7 decades before being modified, demonstrates the success and public acceptance of the design. In terms of preservation, collectors often store uncirculated 1989 D quarters in coin holders, albums, or certified slabs to protect them from environmental damage. Because a coin is clad, it does not tarnish in the same way silver coins do, but it can still develop toning or surface spotting over time. Proper storage in a dry, stable environment helps maintain the coin's original mint luster. Although it may not be considered a rare treasure, the 1989 D Washington quarter represents continuity in American coinage. It stands as part of a series honoring George Washington and reflecting core national values: liberty, unity, trust, and strength. For collectors, it offers an accessible entry point into numismatics, while for historians, it symbolizes the economic life of the United States at the close of the 20th century. In conclusion, the 1989 D United States of America E Pluribus Unum, quarter dollar, liberty, in God we trust coin is more than just everyday currency. Struck at the Denver Mint, designed by John Flanagan, and inspired by the likeness of George Washington, it carries forward traditions established in 1932. Its clad composition, large mintage, and enduring design make it a common yet meaningful piece of American coinage history. Whether kept in a collection or remembered as change from daily transactions, the 1989 D quarter remains a small but enduring symbol of the United States and its ideals. The 1983 P Washington quarter dollar is one of the most interesting modern quarters in United States coinage, not because of precious metal content, but because of its historical context, condition rarity, and importance to collectors. Bearing the inscriptions United States of America, E Pluribus Unum, quarter dollar, liberty, and in God we trust, this coin was struck in 1983 at the United States Mint facility in Philadelphia. The small P mint mark found on the obverse identifies it as a product of the Philadelphia Mint. While millions were produced for circulation, high-grade examples are surprisingly difficult to find, making this date especially significant among modern Washington quarters. The Washington Quarter series began in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of the birth of George Washington. The portrait used on the coin is based on a marble bust sculpted in 1785 by the French artist Jean-Antoine Houdon. When the U.S. government decided to create a circulating commemorative coin in Washington's honor, sculptor John Flanagan adapted Houdon's likeness into the profile that appears on the quarter. Flanagan's initials JF are visible on the obverse beneath Washington's neck truncation. By 1983, this design had already been in use for over 50 years, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in American history. On the obverse of the 1983 P quarter, Washington faces left in a dignified pose. The word liberty arches above his head, symbolizing the foundational principle of the United States. The national motto "In God We Trust" appears to the left of his portrait, while the date 1983 is located at the bottom. To the right of Washington's ponytail ribbon appears the P mint mark, which had been added to quarters beginning in 1980 to identify Philadelphia issues. Prior to that time, Philadelphia coins typically carried no mint mark except during certain wartime years. The reverse design features a heraldic eagle with wings spread wide. The eagle holds arrows in its talons, symbolizing strength and readiness to defend the nation, while olive branches beneath represent peace. Above the eagle is a Latin motto E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one, emphasizing unity among the states. Surrounding the central image are the inscriptions United States of America and $quarter. This classic reverse, also designed by John Flanagan, was used from 1932 until it was replaced in 1999 by the state quarters designs. In terms of composition, the 1983p quarter is struck in copper-nickel clad. Since 1965, U.S. quarters have consisted of outer layers made of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a core of pure copper. The coin weighs approximately 5.67 grams and measures 24.3 millimeters in diameter, with a reeded edge. Unlike pre-1965 quarters, the 1983p contains no silver. Its metallic layers can often be seen on the edge, where the reddish copper core is visible between the silvery outer layers. The historical context of 1983 adds special significance. The early 1980s were a challenging period for the United States economy, marked by inflation, recession recovery, and shifts in monetary policy. During this time, the U.S. Mint made a notable decision. No official uncirculated mint sets were produced for 1982 and 1983. This decision would later make high-grade examples of the 1983p quarter much scarcer than collectors initially realized. Because collectors could not obtain fresh uncirculated examples directly from mint sets, most surviving coins entered circulation and acquired contact marks and wear. The mintage of the 1983p Washington quarter was high. Over 600 million pieces were struck. At first glance, this suggests the coin should be extremely common. In circulated grades, it is indeed abundant and generally worth only face value. However, the true challenge lies in locating coins in high mint state condition. Due to the lack of mint sets and heavy circulation, well-preserved examples graded MS-65 or higher are considerably more difficult to find than many other modern quarters. For collectors assembling a complete Washington quarter set from 1932 to 1998, the 1983p is often considered a key date in high grade. Coins with strong luster, minimal contact marks, and sharp details, particularly in Washington's hair and the eagle feathers, are especially desirable. Professional grading services frequently note that examples in MS-67 condition are scarce, and coins graded MS-68 are rare. As a result, top-graded pieces can command substantial premiums compared to ordinary circulated coins. Error coins from 1983p also attract interest. Collectors search for off-center strikes, double dies, clip planches, and other minting anomalies. While such errors are not unique to this year, they can add considerable value when discovered. Additionally, coins with exceptional eye appeal, bright luster, and minimal abrasions are always in demand among advanced collectors seeking register-quality examples. Artistically, the 1983p quarter continues the neoclassical style established in 1932. Flanagan's portrait presents Washington in a calm, authoritative manner. The simplicity of the design contributes to its timeless quality. The eagle reverse, though traditional, conveys balance and symmetry, reflecting long-standing heraldic traditions in American coinage. Together, the obverse and reverse symbolize liberty, unity, peace, and strength, core ideals of the United States. The coin also holds educational value for new collectors. Because circulated examples are easy to obtain, beginners can start a collection at minimal cost. At the same time, the challenge of locating a high-grade specimen introduces collectors to concepts such as strike quality, luster, grading standards, and market demand. The 1983p quarter thus bridges the gap between everyday pocket change and serious numismatic study. Proper storage is important for preserving uncirculated examples. Although clad coins are resistant to tarnish compared to silver coins, they can still develop toning or surface spotting over time. Storing coins in archival quality holders, albums, or certified slabs helps protect their surfaces and maintain value. Avoiding excessive handling is essential, as fingerprints and contact marks can quickly reduce a coin's grade. In the broader timeline of American coinage, the 1983p Washington quarter represents the closing decades of the original Washington design era. Just 16 years later, in 1999, the reverse design would change with the introduction of the 50-state quarters program, marking the end of the classic eagle reverse. Therefore, the 1983p quarter stands as part of the final generation of traditional Washington quarters before that historic transition. In conclusion, the 1983p United States of America E pluribus unum, quarter dollar, liberty, in God we trust coin is far more significant than its face value suggests. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint, designed by John Flanagan, and inspired by Jean-Antoine Houdon's portrait of George Washington, it carries decades of tradition and symbolism. Although common in circulation, its scarcity in high mint state grades makes it a standout date among modern quarters. For collectors, historians, and enthusiasts alike, the 1983p Washington quarter remains an important and fascinating chapter in United States numismatic history. The 1984p Washington quarter dollar is an important modern issue in the long-running Washington quarter series of the United States. Bearing the inscriptions United States of America, E pluribus unum, quarter dollar, liberty, and in God we trust, this coin was struck in 1984 at the United States Mint facility in Philadelphia. The P mint mark on the obverse identifies it as a product of the Philadelphia Mint. Although it is generally considered a common circulation coin, the 1984p quarter holds historical, artistic, and collectible significance within the broader timeline of American coinage. The Washington Quarter series was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of the birth of George Washington. What began as a one-year commemorative issue quickly became a permanent design due to its popularity and public approval. The obverse portrait of Washington is based on a marble bust sculpted in 1785 by French artist Jean-Antoine Houdon. When the U.S. government selected a design for the new quarter, sculptor John Flanagan adapted Houdon's likeness into the profile seen on the coin. Flanagan's initials JF appear beneath Washington's neck on the obverse. By 1984, this design had already been in use for more than half a century, making it one of the most enduring coin portraits in American history. On the obverse of the 1984p quarter, Washington faces left in a composed and dignified profile. Above his head appears the word liberty, symbolizing the core value upon which the nation was founded. To the left of the portrait is the inscription In God We Trust, the official national motto since 1956. The date 1984 is positioned at the bottom of the coin, while the P mint mark appears to the right of Washington's ponytail ribbon. The presence of the P mint mark reflects a policy change that began in 1980, when Philadelphia minted quarters started carrying a mint mark for identification purposes. The reverse of the 1984p quarter features a traditional heraldic eagle design created by John Flanagan. The eagle's wings are spread wide, representing strength, vigilance, and freedom. In its talons, the eagle holds a bundle of arrows, symbolizing readiness to defend the nation. Beneath the arrows are olive branches, representing peace. Above the eagle appears a Latin motto E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one, emphasizing unity among the states. The inscriptions United States of America and quarter dollar frame the design. This reverse remained unchanged from 1932 until it was replaced in 1999 with the introduction of the State Quarter series. The composition of the 1984p Washington quarter reflects the post-1965 clad standard. Like other quarters produced after the removal of silver from circulating coinage, it is struck in a copper-nickel clad composition consisting of outer layers of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core. The coin weighs approximately 5.67 grams and measures 24.3 millimeters in diameter. Its edge is reeded, a design element originally intended to prevent the clipping of precious metals but retained for tradition and security. Because it contains no silver, the 1984p quarter derives its value primarily from condition and collector demand rather than intrinsic metal content. The mintage of the 1984p quarter was substantial, with hundreds of millions struck to meet circulation needs during the mid-1980s. As a result, circulated examples are extremely common and generally worth face value. However, condition is a crucial factor in numismatics. Coins that entered heavy circulation often show contact marks, scratches, and wear. High-grade mint state examples, especially those graded MS65 or higher, are more desirable. Coins with strong original luster, minimal abrasions, and sharp strike details, particularly in Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers, are especially sought after by collectors. From a historical perspective, the year 1984 falls within a period of economic recovery and growth in the United States. The mid-1980s saw expanding consumer markets and increased demand for circulating coinage. While the design of the quarter did not change during this time, the coins circulated during a period of political, economic, and cultural shifts. Coins like the 1984p quarter serve as small metallic witnesses to the era in which they were used, passing through countless hands in everyday transactions. For collectors assembling a complete Washington quarter set from 1932 through 1998, the 1984p is a standard but necessary issue. Although it is not considered a key date in circulated grades, it can be more challenging to locate in superb gem condition. Registry set collectors often compete for the finest known examples, which can command premiums at auction. Additionally, mint sets from 1984 provide a source of uncirculated examples, many of which remain well preserved. Error coins from 1984p also generate collector interest. Minor double dies, off-center strikes, clip planches, and other minting errors can add value. While no major, widely recognized varieties dominate this date, collectors continue to search rolls and mint sets for overlooked anomalies. The study of such errors contributes to the broader understanding of minting processes and mechanical variations within the Philadelphia Mint. Artistically, the 1984p quarter maintains a neoclassical elegance established in 1932. The portrait of Washington conveys calm leadership and national pride. The balanced arrangement of inscriptions and symbols creates a harmonious design that remained largely unchanged for nearly 7 decades. Its longevity demonstrates the enduring appeal of traditional American iconography and coinage. Proper preservation is essential for maintaining the value of uncirculated examples. Although clad coins are less prone to tarnish than silver issues, they can still develop toning or spotting over time. Storing coins in archival quality holders, albums, or certified slab protects them from environmental damage and handling marks. Collectors often avoid touching the coin surfaces directly to preserve original mint luster. In the broader scope of U.S. coin history, the 1984p Washington quarter represents continuity in design during the final decades of the classic Washington era. 15 years later, in 1999, the reverse would change dramatically with the launch of the 50-state quarters program, bringing new imagery and renewed public interest in coin collecting. The 1984p thus stands firmly within the traditional period before that transformation. In conclusion, the 1984p United States of America, E pluribus unum, $quarter, liberty, in God we trust coin is more than simple pocket change. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint and designed by John Flanagan based on Jean Antoine Houdon's likeness of George Washington, it carries forward a design first introduced in 1932. While common in circulated grades, high-quality examples hold collectible appeal. As part of one of America's longest-running coin series, the 1984p Washington quarter remains a meaningful piece of modern United States numismatic history. The 1998p Washington quarter dollar is an important coin in modern United States numismatic history because it represents the final full year of the original Washington quarter design before the historic transition to the state quarters era. Bearing the inscriptions United States of America, E pluribus unum, $quarter, liberty, and In God We Trust, this coin was struck in 1998 at the United States Mint facility in Philadelphia. The small p mint mark located on the obverse identifies it as a product of the Philadelphia Mint. While millions are produced and most examples remain common in circulation, the 1998p quarter holds special historical significance as a closing chapter of a design first introduced in 1932. The Washington Quarter series began in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of the birth of George Washington. The obverse portrait used on the 1998p quarter traces its origins to a marble bust created in 1785 by the French sculptor Jean Antoine Houdon. When the U.S. government sought to honor Washington with a circulating commemorative coin, sculptor John Flanagan adapted Houdon's likeness into a refined left-facing profile suitable for coinage. Flanagan's initials JF appear on the obverse beneath Washington's neck. By 1998, this portrait had been in continuous use for 66 years, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in American history. On the obverse of the 1998p quarter, Washington faces left in a calm and dignified pose. The word liberty appears above his head, symbolizing one of the nation's most fundamental ideals. To the left of his portrait is the national motto, "In God We Trust," officially adopted as a U.S. national motto in 1956. The date 1998 appears at the bottom, and to the right of Washington's ponytail ribbon is the P mint mark. The addition of the P mint mark on quarters began in 1980, marking a shift toward clearer mint identification for circulating coins. The reverse of the 1998 P Washington quarter features the classic heraldic eagle design created by John Flanagan. The eagle spreads its wings wide, symbolizing strength and freedom. In its talons it grasps a bundle of arrows, representing readiness to defend the nation, while olive branches beneath symbolize peace. Above the eagle is the Latin motto E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one, reflecting unity among the states. Encircling the design are the inscriptions United States of America and quarter dollar. This reverse design had been standard since 1932 and would soon be replaced in 1999 with the launch of the 50-state quarters program. The composition of the 1998 P quarter is copper-nickel clad. Since 1965, quarters have consisted of outer layers made of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a core pure copper. The coin weighs approximately 5.67 grams and has a diameter of 24.3 millimeters. Its edge is reeded, a feature originally intended to prevent the clipping of precious metal coins but retained for tradition and security. Because it is a clad coin, the 1998 P quarter contains no silver, unlike pre-1965 issues which were struck in 90% silver. The mintage of the 1998 P Washington quarter exceeded 800 million pieces, reflecting strong demand for circulating coinage during a period of economic expansion in the United States. The late 1990s were marked by economic growth, technological innovation, and increasing consumer activity. As a result, the need for circulating coins remained high, and the Philadelphia Mint produced hundreds of millions of quarters to meet demand. Consequently, circulated examples of the 1998 P quarter are extremely common and typically worth only face value. However, despite the high mintage, condition plays a critical role in determining collectible value. Coins that entered circulation often acquired contact marks, scratches, and wear. Uncirculated examples preserved in mint state condition are more desirable, particularly those with strong luster and minimal surface marks. Coins graded MS65 or higher by professional grading services can carry modest premiums, while superb gem examples in MS67 or above may command significantly higher prices among registry set collectors. The year 1998 is historically important in U.S. coinage because it marked the end of the traditional Washington quarter reverse. In 1999, the United States Mint launched a 50-state quarters program, which replaced the eagle reverse with rotating state-themed designs. This change represented one of the most ambitious and successful coin programs in U.S. history, dramatically increasing public interest in coin collecting. As a result, the 1998 P quarter is often viewed as the final issue of the classic Washington quarter era that began in 1932. Collectors assembling a complete Washington quarter set from 1932 to 1998 consider the 1998 P an essential concluding piece of the original design series. While not rare, it symbolizes the end of a long-standing tradition. Many collectors enjoy acquiring high-grade examples to represent the final year before the design transformation. Because mint sets were produced in 1998, uncirculated examples are more readily available compared to some earlier 1980s issues, but top-condition coins still require careful selection. Error coins from 1998 P also generate interest. Collectors search for double dies, off-center strikes, clip planches, and other minting anomalies. While no major widespread varieties are as famous as certain earlier double dies, minor errors and high-grade examples remain desirable. Coins with exceptional strike quality, sharp details in Washington's hair and the eagle feathers, are particularly valued. Artistically, the 1998 P quarter reflects neoclassical simplicity and balance. Flanagan's portrait captures Washington's leadership and composure, while the eagle reverse communicates strength and unity. The design's longevity demonstrates its public acceptance and symbolic power. For more than 6 decades, Americans use quarters bearing this design in daily commerce, making it one of the most familiar images in U.S. coinage. From a preservation standpoint, collectors store uncirculated 1998p quarters in albums, protective holders, or certified slabs to maintain condition. Although clad coins are resistant to tarnish compared to silver, they can develop toning or surface discoloration over time. Proper storage in a dry, temperature-stable environment helps maintain original mint luster. In conclusion, the 1998p United States of America E Pluribus Unum $quarter Liberty, in God We Trust coin represents both continuity and transition in American coinage. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint and designed by John Flanagan based on Jean-Antoine Houdon's sculpture of George Washington, it carries forward a tradition begun in 1932. Although common in circulated grades, it holds lasting significance as the final full year of the classic Washington quarter design before the launch of the state quarters era. For collectors and historians alike, the 1998p quarter stands as a meaningful closing chapter in one of America's most enduring coin series. The 1992p Washington quarter dollar is a notable modern issue in the long-running Washington quarter series of the United States. Bearing the inscriptions United States of America, E Pluribus Unum, $quarter, Liberty, and In God We Trust, this coin was struck in 1992 at the United States Mint facility in Philadelphia. The small P mint mark visible on the obverse identifies it as a product of the Philadelphia Mint. While the 1992p quarter is common in circulated grades, it carries historical and numismatic importance as part of the final decade of the original Washington quarter design before the introduction of the state quarter series in 1999. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of the birth of George Washington. Originally intended as a one-year commemorative coin, it proved so popular that it permanently replaced the standing Liberty quarter. The obverse portrait of Washington is based on a marble bust created in 1785 by French sculptor Jean-Antoine Houdon. American sculptor John Flanagan adapted Houdon's likeness for use on the quarter, creating the dignified left-facing profile that remained largely unchanged for decades. Flanagan's initials JF can be found beneath Washington's neck on the obverse of the coin. On the obverse of the 1992p quarter, Washington faces left in a composed and authoritative pose. The word liberty appears above his head, symbolizing one of the central ideals of the United States. To the left of the portrait is the inscription In God We Trust, the national motto officially adopted in 1956. The date 1992 appears at the bottom, while the P mint mark is located to the right of Washington's ponytail ribbon. The use of the P mint mark on quarters began in 1980, making mint identification clearer for collectors and the public. The reverse design of the 1992p quarter features a traditional heraldic eagle created by John Flanagan in 1932. The eagle stands with wings spread wide, representing strength, vigilance, and national pride. In its talons, it holds a bundle of arrows, symbolizing defense and military readiness. Beneath the arrows are olive branches, representing peace. Above the eagle appears a Latin motto E Pluribus Unum, meaning out of many, one, emphasizing unity among the states. The inscriptions United States of America and $quarter encircle the design. This classic reverse was used continuously from 1932 until 1998, when it was replaced by the state quarters designs beginning in 1999. In terms of composition, the 1992p Washington quarter is struck in copper-nickel clad. Since 1965, U.S. quarters have consisted of outer layers made of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a core of pure copper. The coin weighs approximately 5.67 grams and measures 24.3 millimeters in diameter, with a reeded edge. The edge reeds are a historical feature dating back to silver coinage, originally intended to prevent the shaving of precious metal. Although the 1992p contains no silver, the reeded edge remains part of the standard quarter design. The mintage of the 1992p quarter exceeded 380 million coins, reflecting continued demand for circulating coinage during the early 1990s. Circulated examples are abundant and typically worth face value. However, like many modern coins, the true collectible value depends heavily on condition. High-grade mint state examples with strong original luster, minimal contact marks, and sharp details are more desirable. Coins graded MS-65 and above are commonly collected, while those graded MS-67 or higher can command significantly higher premiums due to their relative scarcity in top condition. The year 1992 also holds special significance in U.S. coinage history because it marked the 200th anniversary of the establishment of the United States Mint, founded in 1792. To commemorate this bicentennial, special proof sets were issued, including silver-proof versions of circulating coin designs. The 1992 silver-proof quarter, struck at the San Francisco Mint, reintroduced a 90% silver composition for collectors, while the 1992 P quarter struck for circulation remained clad. The bicentennial year adds historical context to the issue. Collectors often include the 1992 P quarter in complete Washington quarter-dated mintmark set spanning from 1932 to 1998. Although not considered a key date in circulated grades, it is essential for completing the series. Mint sets from 1992 provide a reliable source of well-preserved uncirculated examples. Coins from original mint packaging often display bright luster and fewer marks than those that entered circulation. Error coins from 1992P occasionally attract attention. These may include off-center strikes, doubled dies, clipped planches, or other minting anomalies. While no major variety dominates the 1992P issue, collectors continue to search for unusual examples. As with other modern quarters, exceptional eye appeal and strong strike quality can significantly influence market value. Artistically, the 1992P quarter continues the neoclassical tradition established in 1932. The balanced layout of inscriptions and imagery creates a harmonious design that endured for nearly 7 decades. The portrait of Washington conveys dignity and leadership, while the eagle reverse symbolizes national strength and unity. The design's longevity reflects its success and acceptance among the American public. From a preservation standpoint, clad coins like the 1992P quarter are relatively durable but can still develop toning or spotting over time. Collectors often store high-grade examples in protective holders, albums, or certified slabs to prevent damage. Avoiding excessive handling helps preserve the coin's original mint luster and surface quality. In the broader timeline of American coinage, the 1992P Washington quarter stands within the final decade of the classic eagle reverse era. Just 7 years later, in 1999, the reverse design would change dramatically with the introduction of the 50-state quarters program, which revitalized public interest in coin collecting. The 1992P quarter therefore represents continuity and tradition before that significant transformation. In conclusion, the 1992P United States of America, E pluribus unum, quarter dollar, liberty, in God we trust coin is an important modern issue within the Washington Quarter series. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint and designed by John Flanagan based on Jean-Antoine Houdon's sculpture of George Washington, it carries forward a design first introduced in 1932. While common in circulated grades, high-quality examples hold collector appeal, particularly in the context of the U.S. Mint's bicentennial year. As part of one of the longest-running coin designs in American history, the 1992P quarter remains a meaningful piece of United States numismatic heritage.